What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. Look, a couple of days ago, Luis Ortiz, his manager, trainer, whatever, he was asked about fighting against Philip Hrgovic and the title Eliminator in April. His team member immediately responds with, "Oh no, he can't because he got injured in the fight against Charles Martin." Now, I don't know the extent of the injury. I'm hearing it's a fracture, hairline fracture, whatever, possibly. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think was it a couple of days later, a day after that, however it was, Luis Ortiz, he himself says he wants to fight Andy Ruiz and says nobody wants to fight the old man. And okay, wait a minute. Let me tell you what was really crazy about this. It wasn't even a situation of, well, you know what? He was injured, and due to the injury he sustained, if they're willing to push the time back, a month or two possibly for this title eliminator, then yeah, we'll be more than happy to oblige, because Philip Hrgovic is a solid fighter, right? Nope, just decline that. Not like that's not happening. Luis Ortiz himself doesn't even address Philip Hrgovic. He straight up goes to talking about he wants to fight Andy Ruiz. So all this boogeyman talk, let me just put it to y'all like this. Okay. I don't see how you qualify as being some boogeyman when you don't have not one elite fighter name on your resume that you defeated. The only elite fighter that you fought beat you twice by knockout. Okay? The same way both times. And not to mention, you got knocked down twice by Charles, "I walk this earth like a god" Martin, before you finally was able to get him out of there. Charles Martin was never a good fighter in the first place. So I don't know where people come up with this all of a sudden now Charles Martin is title contention worthy. No, I think at best, Luis Ortiz is a decent fighter. I don't see him the way all these other people, all this boogeyman stuff. Deontay Wilder started that nonsense because Deontay Wilder had nobody on his resume that he defeated that was elite. So pretty much here you have this undefeated Cuban fighter, and oh, you know how the Cuban fighters are tough, and right, okay, so if I beat him and nobody else is willing to step up, or at least that's the storyline we're going to go with, it looks good on my behalf. And it worked as far as fooling the minds of the sheep, because that's all they talked about is, oh, nobody want to fight Ortiz. Oh, Ortiz is better than White. He's better than AJ. He's better than, Fury. He's better than all these people that they name. Listen, you guys seem to forget something. Luis Ortiz has turned down several fights, but he always has a reason when he does it, right? And none of you guys speak on it. Basically, because if you do that, now you're making, oh, shit, this boogeyman that Wilder, and then you guys started following on to this nonsense. Look, Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn offered to fight Luis Ortiz. Do you guys forget that? He turned that down. Went to go fight Deontay Wilder for less money. And on top of this, Anthony Joshua was a unified champion. So you're fighting for less money, less titles. Let's look at the scenario. You're already a barely known fighter. Let's say you beat Anthony Joshua. Your stock goes up considerably. Rematch clause. Let's say you beat him again. Now you go in there and you fight Deontay Wilder. You have far more bargaining chips than you had before, and you are the unified champion. Okay, Deontay Wilder's no cash cow. So guess what? You would have came off way better, win, lose, or draw. Let's say you lost to Anthony Joshua. You still lost in the title fight. Same way you lost in the title fight against Deontay Wilder. but there's nobody on your resume who you've beaten for somebody to be so fearful of this guy. Yeah, you should look good fighting C-class fighters. You should look good fighting journeymen. You know, and people don't want to, just come out and say the truth, but that's what it is. So, all of this boogeyman stuff, well, maybe Philip Hrgovic is the boogeyman because people seem to not want to fight him. And the sad part about it is he really will be the boogeyman in the sense that his team is not coming up with enough money to pay these fighters to get their interest. Okay? You see a guy, you know that this guy is a threat. He can fight. And the money is low. Fighters may not want to come out and say, hey, listen, that's a risk with low reward, a high risk with low reward right there. They don't want to say it, but that's what it is. So you get that bread up, yeah, people will fight him. Luis Ortiz just clearly ducked Philip Hrgovic. And for all the fanboys who can sit up there talking about, oh, the boogeyman, nobody want to fight Ortiz. No, Ortiz clearly stated he wanted to fight Andy Ruiz. Why? It's a bigger payday, okay? Bottom line. And if he does lose, well, he lost to a guy like Andy Ruiz. And guess what? He might be able to get another fight with another top guy, depending on how he looks. Well, what I saw against Martin, his legs looked shot, his balance was shaky, and he got dropped twice by Charles Martin. Same guy y'all laughed at who went down against AJ and didn't want to get up on time and stood there and looked surprised because he didn't want to fight anymore. Same guy that just sat here and said he wanted 4 fights with nothing but champions. He wanted to beat AJ's ass twice. You can't even beat old man Ortiz. So at the end of the day, plain and simple, people, all of this labeling people, boogeyman, nobody want to fight this guy. Oh, this guy is this and this. Well, when your words don't match up with the actions of the fighter, it just looks crazy. Ortiz is trying to maximize as much dollars as he can get. He's on his last leg, okay? And basically, it's the end of the road for him, okay? He's not going to turn the clock back and all of a sudden find youth again, and he's all of a sudden the Luis Ortiz of old, which at best was decent. Simple. At best was decent. I understand what he's doing. I see what he's doing. Okay? But call a spade a spade. He just ducked Philip Hrgovic. Bottom line, there's no big money fighting against Luis Ortiz. There's no big money fighting against Philip Hrgovic. But you guys are not calling him a boogeyman, and you guys are not acknowledging how dangerous of a fighter he is. So let's just be real. Why would you not respond and address Philip Hrgovic's offer and explain why that fight's not going to happen? So bottom line, regardless to whatever date you're setting, or you would like to be fight, well, how could you talk about fighting Andy Ruiz? You don't even know when you're going to be ready. You understand? Suppose Andy Ruiz is ready to go by April or May. Then what? All of a sudden, oh, I'm healed now? He wants a payday. He wants a payday. Okay? He didn't make all that much money fighting against Wilder either. Okay? And pretty much the type of money that he wants to make, he's not going to get against Hrgovic. And he knows, like I said, high risk, low reward. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.